Hi everyone, again I apologise for the lighting and for the fact that the video is a bit naff. What's going on is that my camera is currently broken, and so I'm having to use my phone, which is an iPhone 8, so it's not very current, but I feel that this video needs to sort of happen and come out because I've got had a lot of messages saying this is probably a very good subject to start on and this is what we need. So I'm doing a video on why dating apps are not so much dangerous, but for your people who suffer with mental health, they are not good. I do not feel for people's mental health, and I will give you my many reasons why, my personal reasons, and what the people have agreed with me. So obviously dating apps, there's many of them. I'm not going to name any of them, shame them, because some people really enjoy them, and obviously the creators and stuff have taken time to make these specific apps, but you all know the big, probably 3 or 4 that happen. What was happening, obviously, I'll tell you a backstory. So I met a guy, again, not going to mention his name because obviously it's his business also, not just mine. Met a guy at 18, we were together until the end of 2008, so I was with him for nearly 6 years. So what happened was I was with him for nearly 6 years. What happened was obviously we were together, we got engaged in early 2018. Obviously everything was going really well, we were both really happy, and then unfortunately lots of things happened. We both probably weren't great, and we've discussed these issues with each other. What happened was, obviously, my mental health was massive. I had a lot of issues going on in my life for like the last 2-3 years. It caused my mental health to deteriorate. I didn't really know I had mental health until sort of the issues happened. But anyway, I was with him, we were engaged, and we split up. I really didn't know where to start with anything. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't really know how to meet people after that, because obviously we met at a house party. Not a house party, we met at an 18th. We got along really well, and that's how we met in general. So we met through mutual friends. So again, I didn't and it was my last 2 boyfriends, like one when I was in school and college. Obviously you meet them through school and college, so I didn't really know how to start meeting people, especially because I obviously have low self-esteem and everything like that, and it's very different meeting girls to boys online and everything. Another backstory, one of the reasons that we split up was because obviously I was very, very confused about my sexuality. It wasn't fair on him for me to stay with him and still have these feelings. It wasn't fair on me. He's happy now. I'm glad he's happy. I don't know if he watches these videos. I doubt he does, but I genuinely wish him all the best. He wasn't a bad person. I did love him to pieces, and I just wish you all the best. And your new girlfriend seems really nice. So I hope everything's going really well there, and that is a genuine thing. So obviously I came out as bisexual because I was very confused. So I was like, shit, like it's hard enough talking to boys. How do I talk to girls? So it's very difficult. Obviously downloaded all these dating apps and was like, I'll start here. This is a great place to start. My friends would tell me about it, get on this, get on that. So obviously I made my profiles and started talking to people. Now obviously at first I had a lot of interest, and it's very different because in the real world obviously I don't really get a lot of interest, because obviously I understand I'm not particularly bothered myself. I'm over the self-esteem thing, but obviously I'm quite short, so people kind of ignore me, and I'm not really like your typical girl. I don't wear lots of makeup. I don't dress particularly girly. I'm a little bit weird. I don't really have, my nails done and stuff, which I know that isn't everyone's ideal, but in the general population of boys and girls, that's, the pretty girls. I've never been a pretty girl. But it doesn't matter to me. I'm over that. So obviously when I go out with my friends, who are all obviously very pretty, I'm the one that doesn't really get much attention, so I'm not really used to it. So I was getting all this attention, mostly off girls really. I was getting a lot of attention, and I was like, well, this is new to me. Let's go out and do it. So I did that, and I went, and yeah, that's what it was. So I went out on all these dates, and it was great at the time, and I'd met a lot of people, and obviously I met a lot of people on Tinder, and people who are still my friends to this day, and a lot of people who were friends to this day on these dating apps. But the problem is because my mental health was so bad last year, it is getting better now, but like end of 2018, beginning of 2019, so kind of August time was just horrendous. Like my mental health was just so bad, and I'm not blaming it all on mental health. It was probably 90% of it. 10% of it was probably me. But anyway, so what I was doing, I was swiping constantly, and I was constantly swipe, practically like 20. Like when I wasn't sleeping, I was swiping. When I wanted to wait, I was swiping. It's pretty bad. Like I was literally swiping on my dinners and breaks at work, constantly talking to people. Now, this is very draining, very, very draining on your mental health, because as much as you're enjoying it and you're sort of loving it, it's very difficult because, I stupidly got people to add me on like Snapchat and Instagram, and then so you're getting like six, and then you're speaking to sort of 10, 11 people at once, and different messages are coming in from different angles off different social medias, and you're like, oh my god, what have I done? I mean, at the time, obviously, I enjoyed it because it was good, it was great, and I was getting attention, and I was like, oh my god, like this has never happened. I don't get attention, like what's going on? And then obviously it became like a bit of an addiction, which sounds ridiculous, and people will probably piss themselves, but like it became, I've got a very addictive personality, so that's why I've never touched a drug, because I'm scared that if I touch one, it's gonna be like an obsession. So like when I'm into something, I'm really into it. So I think that's what happened, was I got onto this dating app and I was swipe, and I got all this attention. So obviously from the attention you go on these dates. Now when you go on these dates, a lot of them went well, not gonna lie. Most of my dates that I've been on from online and stuff have gone really well, and again, I've made lots of friends, but obviously a few didn't go too well. You can imagine what happened, wasn't great. Anyway, we'll skim past that. So what happened there was, yeah, so you're swiping constantly, you're going on these dates, and you're literally having like one night stand after one night stand, and you think, what the fuck am I doing? Like, you literally, I'm not even being like, I mean, I've not, not been the worst, but I've not been great. Like, you literally go on a date, and then it seems like certain ones are just there for people to sort of hook up, and it's a bit frightening, especially if you're not in that mentality. Like, I've never been in the mentality of sort of like one night stands. I'm not, and again, I'm not slagging anyone off who's into that. It's absolutely fine. I've been there myself, done it. I'm not, but it wasn't for me. Like, it's really not. And because I was getting the dates and then that was happening, I was getting validation. Now, the problem is you were searching on these dating apps for someone who's in a vulnerable position mentally. It's like you will do, you know what it's like when you're suffering. Now, obviously, whatever form of mental health it is, depression, anxiety, OCD, whatever you're suffering with, PTSD, you kind of search for validation, don't you, from strangers? And it's a very strange, well, I personally did. I searched for all this validation from strangers, and it was like, why? They're no, like, it sounds awful, but they're no one to me. They're literally strangers on the internet. Obviously, it's not just about, again, with all these mental health issues, when you feel that crap, that you kind of do anything to make you feel better for 10 minutes. So you'll make an irrational decision because that decision, even for 10 minutes, makes you feel sort of not sad or not depressed, whatever, for 10 minutes. That's kind of what it was. So I felt like I was swiping all these people and talking and going on dates because it made me feel not sad for 10 minutes. It made me kind of forget that I was in a suicidal state. And it's really bad that was the thing. But that was my thing. Some people alcohol, some people drugs. Mine was that. And it's literally so dangerous that was the case. Like, honestly, it's ridiculous. Obviously, again, you're putting yourself in dangerous positions now. Not necessarily even going on dates, you're putting yourself in dangerous positions. Now, when obviously you add people on Snapchat, sometimes people have locations on a Snapchat. People can find out where you're living from pictures on Instagram. And these are strangers. You're giving this information to strangers. Now, again, I am not one to preach because my Instagram's public and stuff because I do this. And I'm quite like, obviously there's certain things I do share, there's certain things I don't. But like, people are literally giving strangers information about them that's making them feel, that's giving them, and things like, when you've got people on Snapchat and people are sending nudes and stuff, you're giving that person your most intimate pictures, and that person you might even see again, and it's like, it's just so dangerous. And again, I'm not slating anyone, it's easily done, everything. As I said, you're literally giving this person like the inside of your life, and you're like, here, take everything. You might as well give them their bank details, because at this point there's not really much left to give. It's so dangerous, guys, like, honestly. But obviously, and as well, you give off this fake online persona. Now, I'm never like anyone different but myself. I'm always kind of the same, give or take. Obviously, you have to be a different person around your parents, at work, to your friends, but give or take, I'm pretty much the same person all around. But online, like, you do this fake persona and you put all your best pictures on, don't you? No one ever puts like a minging one on. So you put on your best pictures on, and then you write in a little bio about yourself. Now, my bio was a bit cocky because obviously I'd got to this point where I probably was getting a date a week. Now, I know it doesn't sound a lot, but like a date or two a week. Sometimes I went on, 1 week I went on 2 dates in 2 weeks. 1 week I went on 3 dates in the same week, and it was like, fucking hell. But I was getting so cocky, and I was like, right. So because I was getting cocky, I was writing more stuff on the bio, and I was trying to be a little, like, cocky little shit, like, oh, I'm funny and all, and it's like, fair enough bigging yourself up, right? I'm not saying don't big yourself up, but, and it was factual, it was never a lie, but it was like, actually, when I turned up to these days, I had all this makeup on and stuff, and that's not me. And it's like, no, you want to be with someone. You want to be with someone that likes you for who you are, not this fake persona that you've got online or on this dating app. Do you know what I mean? I just feel it makes me very uneasy. Now I'm a little bit better and stuff, I'm seeing other people doing it. It is making me really uneasy. And I just really wanted to talk about it. Obviously, you update your bio and you make yourself sound more interesting than you are, and then it's a little bit like, oh, you're not that interesting. Do you know what I mean? I myself have been a victim to this term catfish. So obviously I've turned up mostly with girls, because obviously girls wear makeup and they can change the face quite a lot. But like, I've turned up to dates and then this girl's like, you know, as she's on a picture, it's been great. But then like, she's not the same person that she described in a bio, or like she doesn't look the same, which doesn't bother me because I'll take people at face value. It doesn't bother me. I'm not really asked if you know, well, wear makeup, whatever. I couldn't care. I really take people for the personalities rather than appearance. But like, imagine how shitty that must feel for someone to have to lie about their own, you know, about their appearance and about their personality just because people are vain. It's just so, makes me so uncomfortable, man. Honestly. Like, but then obviously, I've been single for about a year, on and off. Like, I've been through little relationships here and there. Just got to have another one, unfortunately. But obviously, you re-download all these dating apps, and then you get no matches. And then it got to the point where, not so much recently, but like the last few months ago, when I was kind of in the midst of recovery and still quite clinically depressed, I wasn't getting any matches, and you think, oh my God, am I ugly? And then you start overthinking, and then you start going, yeah, but I'm this, and a year ago I was getting a day, and now I can't get one match, and you overthink it, and then you think, oh my God, I'm ugly. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? There's something wrong. And all these thoughts go through your head, and then your anxiety kicks off. And you're just like, you're so dangerous, guys. I can't even describe how fucking dangerous all these dating apps are, and I'm just like, ugh. But again, this is just how I felt, but I'm sure if I felt this way, someone else must feel that way. It's just, honestly, guys, I can't fathom it. So my anxiety went because I was like, I'm ugly, I'm all this, and then obviously my weight dropped drastically. I was overthinking everything, and then obviously I was like, well, I don't look like her, and I'm comparing myself to people on nights out, and then I'm trying to overcompensate because I say inappropriate things when I'm awkward. It's just something I do, and I don't ever mean to offend anyone or upset anyone, but then when people would approach me, like, and it doesn't happen very often, but someone would like approach me or smile at me or something, but then I'd say something really uncomfortable or really awkward, because then I was so paranoid that they didn't like me, he or her didn't like for who I am, that I had to like overcompensate and say something ridiculous or sexualized, and it's like, actually, that's very off-putting. Again, this was a couple of months ago when I was really poorly, but again, it's anxiety and depression, it's just a minefield. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it. I don't know if anyone else has sort of experienced what I've experienced through these dating apps, but it's awkward, isn't it? Again, if anyone has felt this way or anyone's ever felt like this is a problem, obviously get down below. Obviously they're 18 plus for a reason as well, these dating apps. They do try and monitor them, and you can report people and stuff, which is good. And I've known, I've never reported anyone myself, but I've been known like where people have been kicked off and monitored and stuff, which is quite good, and they do try, but there's only so much of the internet you can actually monitor, which is understandable. But yeah, that was my opinion. So just obviously, if you're gonna, and I've got some tips, I'll give you some on dating tips because I've been on fucking many. So obviously, what I do is, obviously when you're talking to someone, I never really give anyone my number. If that's your easiest way, I normally give people my Snapchat because it's easily blocked and messages get deleted and stuff. So I normally give people like my Snapchat or like WhatsApp or something. Now, obviously, I tell people, like, if I'm really unsure about someone, if people Snapchat me back and it's who it appears to be and stuff, normally okay. Normally, like, I've never had anyone that's been sort of false from who they've said, but I know it has happened to friends and people that I know. Now, I get people to like write a quote or something on a piece of paper and hold it next to them when I've been really unsure, especially if I want to arrange to meet this person for a date, because you've got to kind of meet this person. You want to make sure they're genuine, so maybe get them to write your name or like a quote or a phrase or something on a piece of paper and get them to hold it. I mean, if people are willing, I would do it. If I were, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. Online dating's weird. Like, I would do it. If someone asked me, I wouldn't really take offence. And if someone does take offence, it most likely will mean that they know who they say they are. So, dating tip 1. And Another online dating tip, obviously, is don't give out any personal information. If people ask you for money or ask you, just don't do it. Just delete them, cancel them out of your lives. If someone wants to meet you, they'll do it. You know, they won't need anything off you, really. So just be careful about the person, you know, giving too much information out there. I've done it myself, you know, being too personal too quick. People might know your family and try and fuck up your life a little bit. Another thing is, obviously, when you go to meet the person, I would send, usually in my normal cat I would send a picture, like a screenshot of the person, tell them where we're going on a date, what time we're meeting, and just tell them some more information. And I would normally share my location, whether that be on Snapchat or whether that be with, you know, a personal share your location. And I kind of text people throughout the date and was like, this is going really well, everything's going well. Obviously, if you can make your own way to the date, always preferable. Don't really get in a date with anyone, don't really get in the cars and stuff, because once you're in that confined space, you kind of, you know, it's very dangerous. So if you drive, try and drive to the date, get public transport. You know, if they were offer you a lift, again, I would advise not to. I'd advise to make your way home, and things like that, just for safety reasons, guys, because, you know, unfortunately, not everyone's nice in this world, and as much as I, you know, used to believe that everyone was good, and they're not. It's not. Most people are lovely. Like, you know, most people that I've met online have relatively been okay. There was probably one or two that were very, very questionable and things happened. But other than that, just stay safe online. Again, if you're not sure on them, you know, everyone should be 18 as well that's signing up. And I know it's happened where some of my friends and relatives work in schools and they've caught their 16-year-old students on Tinder. So if you're not sure on someone's age, it's always ask for ID. I know it sounds ridiculous, but with this that's going on at the minute, with all this, you know, these, you know, on these Facebook groups where these vigilantes are going, and, you know, it's been proven that girls have said I've lied about my age, and the boys still go, or the girls, because it happens both ways, but mostly men go to prison and things have happened. It's not even been their fault. So just be super careful, everyone. But other than that, other than the boring, I'm sorry it's been a bit preachy, but it's just something I had it on my list for a while, and I wanted to talk about it, because I had a couple of fun videos this year. So I want to try and do some more content where I'm sat here discussing a subject. Again, more subjects would be great. I'm kind of running out of ideas because my brain's been a bit into overdrive. So, you know, tweet me, message me, Snapchat me, whatever, some ideas, if whatever you'd be interested. I can react to something that you see if you think I could react to something, or you think I might have quite a strong opinions or some good advice or whatever, you know, hit me up. But anyway, I'm going to sign off for the night, guys. Again, they're my dating app sort of do's and don'ts, and, you know, are they dangerous sort of thing. So just be super careful. If you see me on a dating app, give me a little super like. I'm only joking. But have fun, guys. Have fun. Enjoy your dates. And hopefully you'll all find love one day and we'll all have married and lots of babies or lots of dogs or however your life wants to play. But I'm signing off for the night. Stay safe. Have fun. Always be yourself. Stay weird. And I will see you. Bye.